Hi, this is Mrs. Clark. I'm going to go over a few of these examples of these word problems that we're practicing using inequalities. So the purpose here is for us to read the word problem, annotate as we go, and use our annotations to help us show our understanding of what's happening in the word problem through an inequality statement, solving that inequality, to get our solution, graphing it, and then explaining what that actually means in the story. So those are the steps that we're going to take while we do this first problem. So I'm going to start with number 1 from practice 1. So if you started it on your own, you can just check in with your work. I'm going to do 1 and 2 together. You're welcome to pause at any time, try it on your own, and then check back. But just to get you started, I wanted to make this video to have 1 and 2 available for you so you could get going. All right, so number 1, Steffi is saving money to buy a computer next year. Write an inequality to show how much she needs to save each month for the next year so she has at least $1,200 to spend on her computer. Then solve the inequality and graph the solution. So first thing I heard when I was reading was she's saving money, so I know this is about money, and she's waiting a whole year to buy her computer. We want to write an inequality to show how much she needs to save each month. So that's going to be my X because that's the thing I don't know. But I know she's saving each month, and she's saving for a whole year, so next year is going to be 12 months away. So I'm going to write that down here. Because she's saving each month, so that's why that's an important part for me to remember. And so she'll have at least $1,200, which means she wants $1,200 or more. So I'm going to write greater than or equal to $1,200. Then we're going to solve it, so we want to get our answer X is less than or X is greater than something. And then we want to graph our solution, so we want to shade it on the number line. Okay, so to build our inequality, we're going to look for, obviously, the numbers, but also we know that she's saving for 12 months. She's saving a certain amount of money each month, but we don't know how much that is. That's our X. So I'm going to start my inequality with the fact that I know at the end she wants to have a total greater than or equal to $1,200. But she's not doing any other saving except for whatever amount she puts away every month. So I'm going to put an X here, but I know that that X is not just one time that she's saving for the entire year. She's not going to save $1,200 just once. She's going to save a little bit each month, try to save the same amount each month. And anytime I see the word each, I need to remember that where is each, is going to remind us to multiply. So we're going to multiply 12 times that X because she's going to be saving whatever amount, X amount, 12 times. 12, because there's 12 months in a year. So in order to solve this, let me rewrite it down here. It's going to be a quick one-step equation. 12x is greater than or equal to 1,200. And 12x means 12 times x. So I'm going to divide by 12 on both sides. X is going to be greater than, oops, let me fix that. X is going to be greater than or equal to 1,200 divided by 12. So do that in my calculator. And that gives me 100. So my solution is X is greater than or equal to 100. I'm going to write 100 on the number line here. 101, 102. For sake of time, I'm only going to write a few. I need to show through each direction. I'm going to need to show that what greater than or equal to 100 looks like. So I'm going to fill in my dot on the 100. And I'm going to go to the right because those numbers are greater than 100. And so what does this mean in the story? Well, X in the story was the amount, how much she needs to save each month. So Steffi, I may not be able to fit all this here. Hang on. Let me type it instead. So Steffi, we're looking at how much does she need to save each month? Oops, not Stevie, Steffi. Steffi needs to save at least $100. Where's my dollar sign here? Sorry, hang on one second. $100 each month. Uh-oh, where'd my typing go? Each month in order to have enough saved over a year. Oops. Sorry about that. Saved. Okay. So that's important for us to talk about. What is it that she is doing with this 100? Is it $100? Is it 100 months? Like, what was it? And so what I did is I went back to my equation and I looked for where oops, that's not what I want. I looked for where I marked my X. And when I marked my X, I was marking how much she needs to save each month. So that told me right there that that's what my solution was going to be about. That's what I wanted to have in my answer at the end, about how much she was going to save each month. And the reason I used the word at least in my equation was because, or in my answer, was because at least means $100 or more. So there are different ways that you can say this in your last question. You can say, Steffi needs to save $100 or more each month. Steffi needs to save at least $100 each month. Either of those are okay to say, but we don't want to say she needs to save exactly 100, because that would be if it was equal to 100, but it's not equal to 100. It's greater than or equal to 100, so we need to include that part of the inequality in our answer. All right, I'm going to do number 2 with you as well, so I'm going to skip quickly to that one. And this is very similar to the one that we just did. Let me fix my screen. Hang on one second. That's a little bit better, but I can't get it to zoom out any more than that. All right, so we can work from here. Steffi is saving money to buy a computer next year, so same thing. But this time, her Grammy gave her $300 for her birthday to add to her savings. Write an inequality to show how much she needs to save each month for the next year, so she has at least $1,200 to spend on her computer. So very similar. I'm not going to do all the annotations here just to save a little time, but first thing I noticed is her Grammy gave her $300, so she has a bonus of $300. So I'm going to write plus $300. She's like $300 extra now. So that means she's not going to need to save quite as much in order to get to her goal of $1,200 or more. So we need to figure out what the different amount is that she's going to need to save. We know it's less, but we have to figure out how much it is exactly. So write an inequality to show how much she needs to save each month. So again, that's our X. She's going to save for a year, so we know that's 12 months. And she's going to still want at least, so that's greater than or equal to $1,200. Okay. So when I'm looking this time, I'm still going to need, because it's each month, to do 12 months times X, which is X is the amount she's saving each month. But now she has a bonus of $300 that her Grammy gave her. So she doesn't have to save quite as much on her own. But still, we want that to be greater than or equal to $1,200. Okay? When we go to solve this, it's going to give us another step to do because we have that $300 where we didn't have it before. So I know a lot of you are thinking, well, if she wants $1,200, but her Grammy's giving her $300, let's just take the $300 off the total. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to subtract that $300 from both sides of our inequality to say that now each month, 12 months, she's going to have to save greater than or equal to $900 just from her monthly savings. So in order to figure out how much each month, we need to divide by 12. So we can get X is greater than or equal to 900 divided by 12, and that gives us 75. So our solution is X is greater than or equal to 75. So on my number line, I'm going to fill in my 75, 76, 77, 74, 73, and I'm going to do 75 equal to 75 or greater than, which is going to go this way. Okay, and so what does this mean? Now, last time she had to save $100 or more. This time, Steffi needs to save $75 or more. So I'm going to pause it 1 second so I can write that for you. So there we go. Steffi needs to save $75 or more each month to reach her goal of $1,200 or more for the computer. So there you have it. Go ahead and try the next 4 on your own. Check back with me with any questions you have. You can check your answers with my answer key as well, but I really want you to do the best you can and try to get the other 4 done on your own. Good luck.